Alright, welcome back to the channel, folks. Knocking Farts. Today, I'm going to have a look at repairing this nasty old rusty trailer. Chock-a-block full of holes. I think that the bearings were alright. The drawbar looks good. I'm going to see what I can keep. Now, there's a flat tyre on one side, but it's only flat at the bottom, so it shouldn't really be that big an issue. Let's see how we go. I'm going to drag it down to the shed and start chopping her up. It is about 33 degrees outside today, Celsius, so I'm going to find some shade. Now, as you can see, I started chopping the thing up. I started chopping with this air tool from Aldi for $25 in a kit with the chisels and all that sort of stuff. The chisels are great. This thing ripped through the side of that in just a few minutes. One side hit a heavy weld and the tool shat itself. So I won't be using that anymore. It looks like I'll be heading back towards the trusty old Ozito angle grinder, which I'm lined up, ready to go. I've got my PPE on, and let's see what's left over in a minute. Now, as you can see, when I start chopping through this thing, there really isn't a great deal of material left over that's salvageable. I know that the drawbar's okay. I know that the bearings are good. I've checked on those, swapped out that whole flat tyre, and looks like there's not much I'm going to be able to see. I'll just keep the axle, so I'm going to chop these. I've chopped those bolts off at the back, holding the suspension on. I'm going to chop the ones off at the front as well, through the bushes, and we'll pull that out, and then I'll be able to use that axle. I don't know what I'm going to do for sides at this point, but funnily enough, I'm on my way into town today, drop the kids at school, I'm on my way back. There is this sitting on the side of the road, I shit you not. This is a box trailer, sides and front, with the light panels on them. Tiny little bit of surface rust, not a great deal. It's got a few bends and nicks and scratches here. It's obviously been sitting out there for a little while, but it's almost exactly the same dimensions as the trailer I've cut out. It's about maybe 3 inches thinner, but it's the same length. Almost exactly the same length, but the walls are much higher, so it's a deeper trailer, so it's going to be great. That's all I've been able to rescue from the other one. Is the hubs, the axle, and the drawbar. Now I'm going to work my way around here with the wire brush, clean it all up, straighten up the edges, where I'm going to then weld up some bar on the edges. You can see here I've gone with a 30 by 30 by 3 mil angle, and I've welded that on the whole way around. This will create strength and support, and then I'll clean those welds up, and I'm going to run another 3 through the center. After cleaning it with the wire brush, I've been able to get nice clean welds on there, and then I'm going to run along and then finally finish up with some nice seam welds to get nice and strong and solid. So now, after I've gone through that process, I've lined those down in a moment. But it's much easier with the welder on wheels. I can get it right up nice and close, work my way around. That one in the center there, you'll see I was just a bit shy on material there, so I've taken 2 cuts from another piece, and I've overlapped them by a foot or 30 centimeters, and some nice strong welds. So after doing that, then I've lined up my drawbar, gave it a really good clean on the weld with again, and I've lined it up through the center. It is, as you can see, a little bit wider than the old trailer, so I'm just going to cut those ends off once everything's welded up, and I'll flip it over, cut it off, and welding rocks. And here's the last part for part 1 today. As you can see, I've coated the lugs on the suspension there with WD-40. I'm going to let that sit overnight, and then we'll get those off and slide the suspension in the morning, so I can weld the brackets that I picked up for $5 today, with the about $1.50 each, so there's almost $15, and I'm about 50 worth of steel so far. So that's it. Enjoy, like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow night, and I'll show you the rest of the trailer. That's Knocking Farts.